Hello and welcome back. If you are an English student and right now you are at the level that you can understand even as I speak, but you fail to produce, you fail to construct phrases, to build structure. So, if that's the case, you are in the right place. Alright, first let me tell you about a few blocks. Things that are actually on the way. Those are the roadblocks, the hurdles that are stopping you from becoming fluent. I want to talk about the main cause. Actually, I have to mention this. Fear of speaking, fear of being judged, fear of making mistakes, and the fear of being embarrassed. Those are the biggest roadblocks. They are stopping you from progressing, from moving forward. So, what can you do? The good news is that, like you already have the English. You know the words. You know even the structure. You know grammar. You understand sentences. You got the blocks. Now we need to build the house. And what is stopping you from building the house? Fear. You must control your fear. You must just move forward. You need firsthand to acknowledge that the fear is preventing you from becoming a better speaker. A better speaker is not someone who talks fast. A good speaker is not someone who uses fancy words, fancy vocabulary. The good speaker is the one who's able to communicate. And communication, when it is effective, it's everything. You don't need to be a doctor in the language, you only need to grasp the basis. And if you have the basis, the foundation, so the sky is the limit. So, what should you try to overcome fear? That's a hard one, because it's psychological and you just have to keep on trying. Let me be honest with you. It isn't that easy, but if you keep on trying every day, consistently, just do a few things. First, start thinking in English. Few things. It doesn't have to be complicated. Chores like I'm having coffee, now I'm going to brush my teeth, now I'm going to take a shower or take my dog out. Anything works. But you have to practice every day. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it doesn't matter, but you have to do it every day. The second thing that I would encourage you to do is that start listening English words, films, and take off the subtitles. Because when you watch a movie and you are seeing subtitles, you are turning on some other part of your brain that reads. And when you read, which is very visual, your listening turns off. Of course, you still listen, but it's not the same. You don't process the words right. So that can be a really, really bad decision if you just decide to keep the subtitles on. So avoid that. Let me give you another tip. You have to have more output. There's a thing that's called shadowing. Shadowing, and what is shadowing? Shadowing is like following someone like a shadow. When you hear a phrase, when you hear a sentence, you repeat it as many times as you want. Try to emulate the tone, try to sound like that person. You can just go and repeat, and then you practice. Practice. I know it is boring. There are something that are really boring, and you have to keep on practicing if you want to really become fluent. Don't try to sound like someone else. Or, that's the opposite that I said before. Shadowing is a technique, but try to impersonate, try to sound like someone else. That doesn't work in the long term. The right thing to do is that you find your own voice. Find your own voice and keep on doing it. And when you have more output, such as speaking or writing, you train your brain in a very different area. You become someone who builds, not someone who only receives. That are two ways of constructing your language. One is being on the receptive mode. What happens when you practice listening? You become a great listener. But what happens when you practice output, such as speaking or writing? You become a great writer and a great speaker. This is what you want. At least is what you should want to become a better communicator. So, in order to do that, you have to do your homework. Let me be really clear here. There are some courses that they sell the idea that you will become fluent in 1 year. That's not impossible, but that depends on you, on your hard work. Because the more you put in and put out, the more you practice, the better you become. That's easy, right? I've been repetitive here because sometimes, I would say most of the times, being obvious, it's not enough because people tend to overestimate that. And you know what happens? They get stuck. And you don't want to get stuck. You want to improve. You want to become fluent, maybe in less than a year, but you have to follow some rules. Rule number 1. Do it consistently every day. I don't mind if you take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 1 hour. The more the better, but it's not about being intense. It is about being consistent. And if you can be consistent, the game is yours. Like, you won't really realize when you become fluent. Some other people will do, but you don't really notice because it's a smooth process. It's something that you are achieving on a daily basis. And, like learning a language is a lifetime journey. It's not like you're going to point A to the point B, as I said before, but it is a journey without a clear destination. Because who knows everything about all? Nobody. And as a non-native speaker, you have to work harder than those who are born with the language. I have to tell you that you have to commit, and that's it. I don't have much more to say. Now, in this video, I just want to thank you for being here. because I'm going to come back with some more tips. And if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions about new videos, I would beg you, please, bring it down here in the comments because I'm willing to know what do you think. Bye-bye, keep on practicing, keep on improving. What else? Let me think here.